This is Malachi. Some like to consider him the mascot of the station. And then right in here is the chief's office.
All right, everyone, my name is Reilly Rucker. This is another episode at Middle School Career Readiness. Today we're going to be doing a station tour at South Padre Island Fire Department. And
Hello, my name is Max, and I'll be providing him with a station tour. And let's go ahead and get started. We'll be heading out to the bay. I'll show you all the apparatuses and stuff we have around here. So let's go and get started. So in this department, we run fire and EMS calls. So as you can see, we have the ambulances behind us. We usually run 2 a day, and then we also run our engine. We do have 8 people on shift today, and we have a total of 3 shifts, today being A shift. So we have 2 people on each ambulance, and then we have total of 4 people on the engine. And so me myself, I'm a paramedic firefighter. Most of us are paramedic firefighters with the exception of part-timers, which are EMT basics, and most aren't certified as firefighters. If you'd like to take a look inside the ambulance, I can show you.
Sure.
So basically, this is what we run out of and respond to medical calls. Here inside, we have our center console right there with all our controls and switches, which are going to control our lights, our sirens, and stuff like that. I can go ahead and turn on the lights for y'all. That's basically how it's going to look when we're responding to calls. We'll also turn on the sirens to get to the patient quicker. And then if you'd like to come over here, here in the back is where we do all our work. This is basically our office on wheels. So in that first compartment over there, we have our airway stuff. We're going to have our oxygen mask, our BVMs, which are our bag valve mask. And then we also have the intubation stuff. Over here, we have our needles and syringes. And then down here, we have our trauma stuff. So like cold packs, hot packs, gunshot wound kits. We also have 4x4s, 5x9s, triangular bandages, and splints, just in the case that someone were to break a bone or something. We're able to splint the bone and stuff like that. And on this side over here, we have our IV stuff. We have our IV bags, and then our IV catheters. And then in that big bag you see right there, we basically have everything that we have in these compartments all placed into that bag right there. And the stretcher here is automatic, which is really nice. Most of the places you go to now have manual stretchers. So this is really convenient, not only for us, but for the patient as well. And that's basically how it works. And then pop it back in, and it goes out. Do you have any questions on the?
Yes, one thing I did want to ask about is on the website. It just says all your ambulances are equipped with a Lucas device. Could you talk about what that is?
Okay, so the Lucas device is going to be our compression device, which is used whenever we have cardiac arrest. In the case that we have limited personnel, to do a cardiac arrest situation, and we pull out the Lucas device, which is to our convenience because it's an automatic compression device. And I can go ahead and show you that. It's going to be over here in this compartment.
Imagine doing CPR by yourself or you're getting fatigued. Now this device can be a great aid. This is the Lucas device that is an automatic CPR machine. It can deliver 100 to 120 compressions per minute.
And it's on and something that looks like a backpack first. I'll go ahead and take it out and assemble it for you. That way you can see it. So this is going to be the device itself. This here is a backboard, which we place behind the patient. That way we can have a good surface to perform compressions on, because you do not want to be compressing on the chest where you might be on a bed or a soft surface. So you always want to have this. And then this device right here connects onto this.
Okay.
Alrighty. So this here is the automatic compression device. And to turn it on, you're going to click on the green button. And then you'll bring this down to the patient's chest, just to where it's touching the patient's chest. And then you'll want to start the compressions. And then here you have a continuous, and then this is going to be the 30 to 2. So with the 30 to 2, it is a sequence that we use whenever we do 30 compressions and we provide 2 breaths. So right there, I'm going to be providing 2 breaths, and then it's going to continue. And with the continuous, a paramedic will intubate the patient, establish an airway. Once they have the airway, you can just have continuous compressions and just tag every 6 seconds. And that's basically how this device works here. And then just to disassemble it, it's going to be the same thing, just backward sequence.
I know seeing when I first saw this, it was in many of the northern states.
Yeah.
And I know that not a lot of southern states or cities in Texas actually have the Lucas device. So when I saw it on the website, I was like, it's pretty interesting, pretty good.
For sure. Not everyone has it. It is something that comes in handy, like I said, especially when you have limited personnel. It is a great device to have on board. You have any other questions pertaining to it?
Not to the ambulance. No.
Okay, alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. Like I said, it's just a reverse process. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and turn off the ambulance, and then we'll get onto the engine. Okay. Alrighty. So the other ambulance just got back, and so this right here is the engine. In here, we have the driver operator, which is the engineer. He's the one that's going to be controlling all the hoses and the panel right here, which controls the hoses. He's in charge of providing adequate pressure, providing the adequate water volume and stuff like that. On the co-pilot side, you're going to have the captain, which is going to be the one that oversees the incident. So he's going to be outside of the fire, making sure that everything's going well. And then in the back, we have the lieutenant and a paramedic. So usually the ones who go into the fire are going to be the lieutenant and the paramedic. And the paramedic will also respond to medical calls whenever an ambulance is in here. Let's say both of the medic units are out, then the engine will respond and the paramedic will take care of that patient. And we'll be calling mutual aid from either Port Isabel or whoever may be able to come over here. And so if y'all want to take a look inside. You go ahead and turn on the lights. Alrighty, do you have any questions so far?
So one thing I did want to ask, are all your ambulances and fire trucks ALS or BLS?
So we're mostly ALS qualified because we do run double medics. Just whenever there is a part-timer that's an EMT, then we might downgrade the calls to BLS. But mostly the paramedic is going to take all the calls, whether it be a simple call or something that requires ALS, which would be like cardiac arrest, any cardiac call, stuff like that.
Follow.
Okay. And then let me just go ahead and turn it off. And so right here, this is a control panel that the driver operator is going to be overseeing. As you can see, each one of these is color coded or has a color, and that color matches the hose that we're going to use. So in this case, the red one is going to control number 1 crosslay. Yellow one is number 2 crosslay. So it's going to be controlled by this. And these are levers. So in order to increase the PSI, you'll be pulling out the lever. But before that, you can either run on the tank of the fire engine, or you can connect the fire engine to the hydrant. So how do you connect the hydrant to the fire engine? We have this hose here, which is a 5-inch hose. It's called a large diameter hose. And that hose is going to be connected from the hydrant to the pump of the fire engine. So once we connect that, then we can start messing with our pump. So you have the tank to pump, which is going to be whenever you just want to use the tank water, then you'll do tank to pump. This right here is a tank fill recirculator. So we use this to prevent the pump from overheating by letting the water circulate from the tank to the pump, and it's just recirculating. And then we also have these right here, which is a pump cooler and the engine cooler. Those are secondary cooling devices which use the engine's radiator with a separate device that is going to cool the pump. And then we also have our hose reel right there, which is our basic hand line. Over here we have some more hoses in the front. So this is going to be our bumper deployment. So whenever we have like a little car fire or trash fire, we might just park right in front at a safe distance and deploy this hose to where we can turn off the fire. And then going back over here.
Alright guys, sorry to interrupt the video there. If you would like to support us to make more videos like this, make sure to go check out our Cash App link. Link will be in the description. If you would also like to check out our Refuge Medical affiliates, make sure to go check that out. Again, link will be in the description. If you want to check out the website for South Padre Island, sorry about that, also in the description. If you have anyone who is in public safety who wants to do an interview, make sure to go and email me at mscareerreadiness.info@gmail.com, and I would love to give them an email. A interview. And also, we are going to be going through a transition given the fact that I will be moving to 9th grade next year. I will be moving out of middle school into high school. If you would like to support us in this transition from middle school career readiness to Texas youth career readiness, please be willing to donate, subscribe, hit that like button, make sure you put the notifications to all so you don't miss another video. And let's get right back to the video. Sorry for the intro.
In here we have some appliances. So we have more stuff that we'll use in a fire, like your water guns or water nozzles. And we have different kinds of nozzles. This is going to be called the straight bore. This is a fog bore nozzle. And then we have our appliances, which is Siamese, gated Y, stuff like that, adapters. And this is going to be the driver operators PPE, which is helmet, boots, your pants, and then you have a coat also. Right in there we have our forestry line. So that line is going to be used to deploy on forest fires or grass fires because we don't really have forest around here. And then here we have some more stuff. And here we're going to have our airbags. So whenever a car flips over and we want to stabilize it, we'll use some airbags. And we use our regular air tank to inflate those airbags. And then in here we have some regular tools. And here in these two compartments we have spare SCBA tanks for SCBA bottles. Then back here we're gonna have our pneumatic chills and our electric tools. So we have our K12. This is gonna be the smaller K12 and that's the larger one. We'll use these to cut into metal. And then you have your spreaders and your cutters. And then you also have this other device that is going to stabilize a dash whenever you have to push it out and pull it into place. That'll stabilize it. We also have a chainsaw. We have a backboard for whenever we get a trauma or something, then we'll have a backboard to place the patient onto. And those that cribbing right there is also used to stabilize a vehicle.
I noticed you have the Hearst tools are battery powered. Is there a difference between battery and the older hydraulic models?
So the hydraulic models, when it comes to other people, they say that they are more convenient in the way that they provide more more power and just longer lasting. With the battery powered ones, we do have extra batteries, so we do have to be replacing them every once in a while, but they do last a pretty long while. And I want to say they're just as powerful. And for us, they're more convenient because we don't have to pull out the compressor and set it up to in order to have the other tool set up. So for us, it's really more convenient to have these. Any other questions?
No.
And then if we go back here, up here, we're going to have more large diameter hose. So in the case that we have to deploy this hose maybe 500 feet away from the scene, we have enough back here to connect to a hydrant that's not far away. And then in here, we have our ladders. So we have different kinds of ladders. We have our attic ladders, our extendable ladders, and then the regular ladder. And we also have the roof ladder. And those right there are pike poles. Let's see. And we can come over this way. In this compartment, we're going to have our ventilation fan. We have kitty litter, so whenever there's oil spills or stuff like that, we'll throw that on the oil spill, and then we'll pick it up. And this is a generator. Then here we have our scene light. In the case that we need light somewhere we don't have light, we'll pull this out and extend it, and it'll provide us with adequate lighting. And then here we have more tools which we use in fires. So we have the flat head axe, pick head axe, TNT tool, rubber mallet. We have 2 windshield saws here, the bolt cutters, different sizes. That's the officer's tool. So usually the captain, if he were to go inside to do an inside inspection, he'll have that tool. That's either going to be useful to open doors or stuff like that. Right here we have 2 different pry bars, a mallet, and then some more tools. In these compartments right here, we're going to have our different fire extinguishers. So we have our class A, B, C. We have this one right here is a class A, which is going to be for the regular combustibles, which is like your fire, or sorry, your paper, stuff like that, regular stuff. It's trash. You can use this in trash. Then this right here is a class ABC, meaning that you can use it in a trash fire, wood fire, paper fire. You can also use it in liquids and electrical fires. This right here is AFFF. So it's a foam we use whenever we have like a gas spill that is lit. We'll use this gas fire, oil fire. And here we have some more stuff. So we have a rope bag, some keys we might need to get into hotels and stuff like that. We have bee suits. If we ever have to respond to a bee call, we're ready for that. And then this right here is just going to be stuff we use whenever we have a structure fire that may be a fire that is up on the fifth floor. Then we'll take this hose and we have a whole kit we assemble with the standpipe system and stuff. Any questions?
No.
No? So on this side, we have our ladder truck. This ladder, I believe it extends out to 105 feet. So whenever we get a structure fire that involves a building that is pretty tall, then we'll take this one out. This one also provides higher pressure when it comes to like the water pressure. So we'll use this to connect to the hydrant and then relay that pressure to the fire engine so we can provide a higher pressure. And then that truck is pretty much going to have what we have here.
Mhm.
And then we also have beach patrol, but that's a different department. Even though it's housed with us, there is some of the paramedics that are also in beach patrol. I myself, I am not part of that, but I can show you around. As you can see, we have some jet skis. Those right there are going to be our beach patrol units. And then you see the water fins and some aquatic stuff over there. Beach patrol also has their ATVs and side by side. And then they have the paddle boards and surfboards back there. These right here are going to be used to carry either boats out of the water or just carry things they might need, like paddle board, stuff like that. And we can head over here towards the left. And y'all can follow me. So right there, they're painting a mural for Beach Patrol. Up there is a Beach Patrol office that they recently just constructed. And then in here, we have our bunker gear. So this room is going to be cool. Go ahead. Yes. This room is cooler than out here because we don't want to get any humidity on into here because the humidity can potentially damage the bunker gear. So in here, each person has their own bunker gear. There is some differences in the helmets. So the captains are going to have the red helmet with the white shield here. And then the driver operator is going to have a black helmet with a red shield. And then a regular firefighter is just going to have the black helmet and the black shield. And these back here are our identification tags. So before going into a fire, we'll provide the officer, which will be the captain, with one of these, and that way he can keep track of who's in type of fire. And then the red helmet with the black shield is going to be the lieutenant. And go ahead and carry it just so you can see how heavy it is.
Yeah. Do you know exactly how much it weighs?
I wouldn't be too sure, but I want to say it's anywhere between 5 to 10 pounds. The whole gear itself, I want to say it weighs about 70 pounds.
And how fast do you have to put on that gear?
So, as per our trainings and stuff like that, we want to be in that gear within a minute. So we'll put on the gear and respond to the call. Inside the engine, you don't want to ride with the helmet because that is a health safety hazard. But you can ride with the bunker coat and the bunker pants and stuff like that, just not the helmet. And then over here, as you can see, it's a pole and it's coming from the second floor. Sometimes we'll take this pole to respond to emergency calls. And we'll come down here and then just rush out to our either the medic unit or the fire engine. And then I'll go ahead and show y'all the gym. These right here are the Mobi chairs. So we lend these out to the disabled people that might need them. Maybe they have a wheelchair and they can't get out to the sand or out to the beach. So these come in handy with the big wheels. You'll be able to wheel them on the sand. And then they also have little flotation devices so you can put them into the water. We'll go ahead and step this way. So as firefighters, we do have to work out at least 1 hour per shift. So we'll come down here usually before lunch and work out. We have a lot of workout equipment, so we'll get in an hour of workout and then we'll eat lunch from there. Yeah, so right here on this side, we do have a mural that was painted by a former Beach Patrol employee. So we have the fire station right there. We have our ladder truck, and then they have a lifeguard tower. And then this right here is set to be the Beach Patrol captain or lieutenant, and his name's Pedro. Any questions so far?
I do not.
No? Okay. Let me take y'all on to the second floor to our living quarters. So as firefighter paramedics, we do stay on shift 24 hours and we rest 48 hours. So we basically live here for a day. And we have a total of 11 dorms. And like I said, we're 8 on shift. So each one of us has our own dorm. And we share it between 3 of the shifts. So going back to A, B, and C shift. And each shift has 8 people. We have different patches from different fire departments. So usually a firefighter from another department will come and they do the patch trade. So we'll give them one of our patches and they'll give us one of theirs. And we have departments from all over Texas and some even from Mexico, like this one right here, Cruz Verde, Monterrey. And I want to say there's also other states and even other countries. So in here we have our laundry room. Then we have our dorms. So each dorm is equipped with our little desk, which is going to be our office area. We have a bed and we have 3 closets, each closet for each of the shifts. And right here to our left, we have restrooms. Right in here is going to be our kitchen area. So sometimes we'll cook meals, prepare meals in here, or sometimes we'll just head out to eat somewhere. And then each of us has our own pantry. We have a fridge and whatever else we might buy and collect there. And this is going to be our dining area, and then our living room. And then this is going to be the captain's quarters. He does have his own restroom in there. Yeah. And then any questions so far? Go ahead. So up here on the 3rd floor, we have our administration. Heading this way, right here to the left is the fire marshal's office. This is Malachi. Some like to consider him the mascot of the station. And then right in here is the chief's office. Right this way, we have the training room. This is another office over here. This is the captain of EMS. So he's the one that oversees all the EMS stuff, EMS calls, EMS operations, EMS training, stuff like that. This is our fire chief.
Hello again.
And then our fire marshal. And that's going to be the secretary's office. Right in here, inside the training room. This is where we have our morning meetings, morning debriefings, and the chief will usually tell us what's going on for the day and any news that he might have for us. Up here, we have some more bulletin boards with more patches. And then we also have some frames with pictures of incidents we may have had or training. You have any questions for me, Reilly?
No.
No? What do you think of the tour?
It's pretty big. Definitely, I feel like for me, it'd definitely be a great place to work every day.
For sure. It does feel homey, especially because you have the beach, and it's just a really nice place to work at.
All right. Well, if that's the end of our tour, I'll go ahead and end the video. For those of you watching, thank you for watching till the end. This was a tour of the South Padre Island Fire Department Station 1. Thank you to Max for giving us the tour.
Thank you, guys.
For the PIO for setting up the interview. Once again, that was a wrap on the video, on the station tour of South Padre Island Fire Department Station 1. Thank you for the, thank you to the PIO, Karen. That was, thank you for helping us out for that. And thank you to Max, a firefighter who was giving us a station tour today, and thank you to Chief Jim Pig for approving this and helping with all of this. If you haven't already, go check out the video I did with him. If you would like to donate, make sure to go check out our Cash App link and go check out our Refuge Medical link. That helped to support us and them. And make sure, if you have anyone who is in public safety who wants an interview, if you have a station in mind that you would like a tour, if it's in the Austin area or in the South Texas area, or even if it's not, just let me know, and if I'm able to do that video, that station tour, I would love to feature your local department. So if you have any of those, shoot me an email over at mscareerreadiness.info@gmail.com. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button, set the notifications to all so you never miss another amazing tour like this. And thank you, and stay safe.